Alright guys, what's going on? We are going to try to clean another piece in our homemade electrolysis setup with the bucket. This piece we found it was during the fall, I think, and it's roughly, I don't know, foot long, a little over a foot long. When we first found this, I thought it was just a really large spike, but then someone responded in the comments and said it was actually goes to some kind of a old school air tool that the rail yard used to use, and it's real no significant value of it. It's actually in kind of bad shape, but I thought it'd be pretty neat to see if we could clean it up and see how well this electrolysis setup will work on it. And so I won't bore you with cleaning it up, so I was just going to knock all the loose stuff off of it first and just give it some taps. I mean, as you can see, there's a lot of buildup on this from being in the river for so many years. So the plan is to knock off all the loose stuff that we can, and then we'll get it set up in the electrolysis bucket and let it simmer and see how well it does. I'll try to get yeah, the water's kind of clear, so I'll show you. We'll get it in there set up and make sure that it's bubbling and working and all that. But I'll get this cleaned up a little bit better. Probably just keep tapping it, maybe hit it with a wire brush a little bit, and then I'll get it ready to go. Clean it the best I can, and then we'll get it ready for the tank. Alright, so here's our piece. I chipped off, it's a little wet, I stuck it in the bucket to make sure it fit, but knocked off all the loose pieces I could. It's a little bit longer than I thought it was. It's almost the length that this 5-gallon bucket is tall. So with this, we're going to have to get it fully submerged, I have to set it at an angle to get it fully under the water. And the thing with that is you have to reach in there. You want to make sure, don't hook nothing up if you got your hands in there. Make sure that the end of it isn't up against the sacrifice rod, which, yeah, we got pretty good space between them. Just going to secure this wire real quick just for the peace of mind here. That's a stiff one. Honestly, I should have a better way to have this secured down. Okay, so we're still under the water, and we still got pretty good distance between the piece that we're doing and the sacrifice rod. And I already put in the laundry booster, the Arm & Hammer laundry booster. Super washing soda. Yeah, so that's in there. Roughly half a cup, I think, is about roughly what I put in. A little over half a cup. So we should be good. So get our ground hooked up. I'm just hoping where this thing's so rusty that it is going to get a good enough connection. If not, I probably have to hit it with a grinder or something just to, you know, knock it down to where it's fresh metal, and then rehook everything. Alright, we'll get our power cable here. There it is. See what we're set on. So I had it set on, it's on low and 6 volt. We'll try that first. Alright, moment of truth. Alright, we got power. See if we're doing any bubbling. Oh yeah, instantly. Let's see if I can get you guys where you can see it here. Oh, there we go, come on. Tripods are a pain in the butt. So get that light glare out of the way there, but you can see it where it's just barely bubbling up there. So it's doing its job, but you can, I don't know if it's actually recommended or not, but you could probably crank it up. I'd double check. I wouldn't do it without checking, but you could probably bump it up to 12 volts and really get it singing. But the only thing that throws me off is when you're looking at it, you can kind of see the piece bubbling, but the wire that I'm hooked to that is going around the piece is mainly doing the bubbling, and I don't see nothing coming up from like where the piece goes down, where it's going down into the water. I don't see anything coming up from, you know, towards the end of the piece. So we'll see. I may end up having to get some bare metal going on with it. Yeah. Low. Yeah, so the charger's on 12 volt. You can really see it singing now. So I'll try it for a little bit. I'll just put it on a 6 volt low. And man, I just can't get rid of that glare from that light. 6 volt low, and then let it sit here and chill for about 20 minutes or so, half an hour. Take a look at it, and if it doesn't look like it's really doing anything, then I'll have to clean it up to where we can get some bare metal there and hit it again. Alright, we'll check it out here shortly. Alright, so round 2. The first one didn't work very well. You've seen a couple little like dots where it looked like rust came off, like wasn't getting a good connection. So I took the little angle grinder and just went around it a little bit just to get some bare metal showing. So hopefully this will make the difference we need to try to get this clean. But granted, this thing is in really, really rough shape. So fingers crossed. 3 hours in, we're finally starting to get some bubbles off of the piece itself. So it's been three hours. This thing's like seriously corroded, so this one's going to take a minute. Alright, we've had this thing down here cooking for almost 2 days straight. So we're going to take a peek and see what we got. Which I'm not expecting a whole lot, honestly. This thing's in, as you guys seen, pretty rough shape. So looks like it was definitely doing something, but something to be a little farther along than that. But she's rough. Let's see. Scrub here. Well, it's turning black. It was definitely doing something, but oh yeah, the cat came down to join us. Oh, you can see. Let's see. Is that picking that up? You guys see that rust on there? Let's see if it comes off. Oh yeah. So it's working. So we done, I think, 35 minutes on one cycle. Put it back on for another 35. Yeah, checked it and everything. Didn't seem like we was getting anywhere. That's when I took the grinder and hit the up here just to make a couple, you know, bare spots going around it for the wire to make sure it was getting really good connection. Because it's, you know, it's not a collector's piece. This is just to see if we could do it. And then it's been in here for really close to 2 days. Just sitting here simmering, and just to see what we could get out of it. Yeah, you can see the rust. It's definitely coming up. Now you can really see how bad a shape this thing was in. You can see, let's see if the camera's picking up, but right here you can see where it actually dips. So I mean, there's like, this thing's been down here for God knows how long. It had to be a long time. This is like a really thick bar. It's up here at the top, it's over, probably just a little over an inch, inch and a half maybe, excuse me, thick. You know, of course it comes down into a point, but down here it's still over, it's got to be over an inch thick down here. And it just ate it right down. Alright, let's give it a little dip and see what we got. Oh yeah, I turned that water black. Not bad. Tell you what I'll do. I'll take it upstairs and hit it with some warm soapy water. See if we get some of this black to come off, and then we'll see what it looks like. Now here we go. This is after took it up there at the wire brush and hot soapy water. Just used some Dawn dishwashing liquid. Scrubbed it down with the wire brush and then heated it on the stove to get the moisture out. It's still a little warm to the touch here, but it done alright. You can kind of see, maybe if I can get you guys in there. Here's a good spot right here to where it did. It took it, got most of the really bad stuff off. So you guys can see it's like right in here. It's down to where it's almost silver from where I hit it with a grinder. And there's a lot of it here. I'm sure that camera's not picking up. That you can see where it took it down almost to, yeah, it's definitely still warm. The surface of the iron. Yeah, I don't think I can get it in good enough light for you guys to see it, but like down through here, I know in person you can definitely see through the rust and see the iron on it. So it done good. This thing is, what did I measure? I think it was 14 inches. Or just shy. Depends on which end you measure it from. So it's just shy of 14 inches in length. Yeah, about an inch and a half at its thickest part. So it really, right there is where it, I'll show you, it's really done some damage being in that water on this one section. Right in here. It really took a bite out of it. But there was a couple options of different stuff you could do. It's like this. It's a railroad spike that we got, I dated this one, actually it's September of last year, from the same bridge. And we just, same way, I just left it in its kind of its original state. All I done was brought it home and same way, just hot soapy water with Dawn and scrubbed it down with wire brush, and what stayed, and then I used this here we got from it. Was it Home Depot or Lowe's? One of them. It's just like someone was redoing the floor in the basement, and this stuff looks, when you open it up, it looks real milky, but after it goes on, it dries to a real nice clear finish. That's what we put on this. We've done a few other ones. We went to Renaissance Fair down in southern Ohio, and went down there, and the kids like going down. There's people down there that trade stuff, so we made a few of these. Some of them we actually put ladybug emblems and stuff, you know, painted the ladybug stuff on them. Took them down there, and the kids used them to trade for other stuff with the vendors down there. But anyway, I was debating on whether or not to do the same to this, because it kind of not necessarily holds it in its current state. I mean, it seals it, but I don't know for how long it'll last. But it was either take the grinder and just give it a little bit of character like you see here, you know, up and down each side, and then seal it, or just seal it, or so I don't know. We'll figure something out. If you have, I got a friend of mine that has a blacksmith shop. I don't know if they'd be able to do much with this one, but if you knew somebody, if this thing was in really good shape, you could probably make a really sweet knife out of this. And but they are like super busy and backed up, so I'm not going to bug them with this. And it'll probably take a long time to have it done. But so now it's, do I just seal it or do I just hit it, get some silver back in it, and then seal it? So we'll see. I'll figure out what I want to do, and then we'll be back. Alright, so we're done with, went all the way around each side, each end, just gave it some, just a little bit of scraping with the grinder, nothing extreme. I'm going to go ahead and do both. When I've done that, just give it a little bit of character, and then we'll put this sealer on. If you use this brand, which I don't know about the others, but this one, it's like milky looking, but when it dries, it is clear, just like I showed you on that railroad spike. And but it takes, I know when I done those spikes, we done close to a dozen of them with it, and it took roughly 20 minutes, 25 minutes maybe, to be on the safe side where you could handle it without being, you know, all sticky and tacky and all that good stuff. So this, it's going to take a minute to do since it's such a bigger piece. But we'll do. So I'll show you this side real quick of how it looks when it's on, and then I'll show you what it looks like after we're finished. So now it should, you can see it's still warm. It's warm enough to where stuff's steaming. I thought it'd be a little cooler than that by now, but guess not. Too late now. But anyway, you get to see how it looks when I'm talking about, because it's going to take probably, I don't know, maybe an hour to do this. So I'm definitely not going to bore you with sitting here hanging out for an hour-long video. But it's real easy. Just make sure you use a old brush. You go to like Harbor Freight and them guys and get these where you can get like a whole pack of them dirt cheap. But yeah, just smear it on and wait. Yeah, she's still pretty warm. Alright, well, we're waiting on this side to give it a chance to cool down some. So, and that's it. That's all you got to do. And then when you're done, or just good and dry, you can either put another coat on it. I think this piece here had, I think this one we done 2 coats on it, just because it still had so much dirt and you know, rust and stuff stuck to it. So I think this one had 2 coats on it. It's like super shiny. So I'll get this done, and then come back and show you the result. All right, here we go. Here's the piece when it's finished. It's good and dry now. Yeah, none of it's tacky, so it's good and dry to the touch anyway. But let's see if we can get, let's see if I can kill some of this light. I can't tell. Let's see. You guys can see some of that silver. So all we done was use the electrolysis tank, got the rust off, and then took the grinder, just buzzed over it, you know, nothing crazy, just buzzed over each side, and then used the sealer on it that I was showing you. And it's only 1 coat, but done the whole thing, just 1 coat, and the silver sticks out pretty good, you know, the bare metal. Hopefully, I don't know how well you guys can see it in the light, but gives it some nice character. It'll excuse me, it'll probably end up taking it down to the Renaissance Fest when we go down this year, maybe. I don't know, we'll see. And kids take it down there, maybe do some trading with some other vendors and see what they can get. I don't know if we can put a design on the top or not. We'll see. But it turned out okay. Not bad. But what I have this weekend is our camping trip. I got on Google Images, looked up 5 different spots where we're going. So we'll have 5 different fresh spots we've never been to. And so hopefully we'll get lucky, find something cool. You never know. With new spots, it's always a gamble. You know, sometimes you find some stuff, sometimes you don't find nothing. Sometimes you find nothing but snags. So we'll see with that. Hopefully it works out. There's that big where it got ate up. Well, you guys can see that, but it's a pretty bad spot. But we hit them new spots. I think we got this video. There's another video from the new spot we just went to. We didn't turn out the greatest, but we made it out. That's the main thing, making it out. You don't always win them all. You don't always find stuff. You don't always find stuff that's pretty cool, but at least you make it out. But they've got them 5 spots coming up hitting this weekend when we go camping. So keep an eye out for those videos. Those ones will be sometime the following week. We'll try to make it out some this week. I'm not sure if, depending on weather. They're talking about some rain, so it comes down to rain. But anyway, we will have some new spots coming up with magnet fishing. And thanks for watching. Appreciate the new subscribers. That's awesome. I always appreciate it. Make sure you guys leave some comments, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you at the next video.